Hi, Varun.
Hey Amanda, how are you?
Congrats on your new
Hi.
Seattle purchase.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
I'm actually at my project that I'm in escrow in right now. Just walked it because Varun, I heard we're doing something similar.
Cool. Yeah, no, I just thought I wasn't sure even how this coffee thing worked, so I just thought I'd log in and see what it was.
Well, welcome, Lynn.
Thanks.
Welcome to ProjectRE. Yeah, it's just I wanted to create a space so if you have a question or have trouble finding something or just wanted to chat to other group members and get to know them, there was a space to do that because so many of us are doing similar projects or look to do similar projects that sometimes it's nice to just ask general questions because James is such a wealth of knowledge, but like his time is limited. So this is more of like a
Right.
peer to peer opportunity to just chat through different things. And so we'll
Yeah.
try and do them bi-weekly. I've been
Oh,
on
okay.
mater I've been on maternity leave, so my apologies.
Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome, especially on Monday or Tuesday, because Wednesday I wanted to make other ones. I just can't make it. I work. So
I
yeah.
I hear ya.
I mean,
Tuesdays,
I'm sure we all have some other job going.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Lynn, where are you based?
I'm in Southern California in Ventura County.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm doing right now, I'm in Chattanooga as far as like buying things because
Cool.
I don't have the capital behind me to buy something out here. That's my ultimate goal, but right now I'm not there.
I actually started similarly in North Carolina. I had one in Tennessee
Okay.
and Virginia before I came. I'm based in
Yeah.
Seattle, so before I was able to buy in my home market, I did quite a few burrs and airburn burrs or whatever they're called out that way.
Yeah.
I personally love the Tennessee market.
Yeah, no, I do too. I love it out there. It's like my second home. I have like five houses there, so I go there a lot.
Nice.
And I have friends, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's just what I'm doing for now, and then someday I hope to be here again because I did it
Uh,
back before the crash.
are you so you just need to find private money to be able to fund the second position to do it in SoCal?
Yeah, and build the team and all that kind of stuff. It's just that taking James courses, I realized that, I have to have more like of my own, like, money to sit on in case anything goes wrong. So yeah, there's that. And I figured I just, keep going a little bit in Chattanooga, and get some more experience with it because I rehab things there, but I didn't flip anything. So it's kind of it's a little bit of a different animal. I mean, all mine are long-term rentals there.
Yep, I can appreciate that. I
You
So
know.
this is actually my first year flipping.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. And so yours is kind of similar to mine then. So you were out of state and now you're back home.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
having kids kind of ruined my out of state investing. I personally like to be boots on the ground. I haven't
Yeah.
excelled at the long distance flipping successfully or long distance investing.
No, me neither. That's why I go there a lot.
Same.
No, I've been like ripped off so many times and screwed over. Like, oh no. Like I just, I just figured it out. I take the red eyes, I get the super cheap flights, whatever, I got to figure it out. So it's still, in my budget.
My hack for you, Lynn, is get a cargo van instead of a rental car. They're the same price.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I've been definitely loading two by fours in the rental
Yeah,
cars.
I
The
did
whole
that in
nine
Toyota
yards.
Camry, and I was like, there has to be a better way.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Travis. How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing? Good to see
Good.
you, Amanda and Lynn and everybody.
Hi. Where are you
Travis, did you?
located?
Yeah.
What's that?
Where are
Where are
y'all
you based
located?
out of?
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm in Bellevue, Washington.
Great.
Yeah.
Have you connected with the HD team?
Yeah, I'm working with actually Nico to close on my first property next week.
Congrats. Where is it?
Yeah.
It's in Bothell. It's a three bed, two bath, 1850 square foot cosmetic rehab.
Beautiful.
Um, so my challenge right now is I've had two contractors walk the property with me, and I've got one bid back so far, and the other one I'm expecting today. And I'm in the phase where I need to get it down to closer to within the budget to make sure I make money, because as it stands right now, it'd just be just about breaking even. So I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Have you permit tracked in the Bothell area?
No.
I might start doing that to see who's doing the volume of flips to permit track to see who might be a GC in your price range. James talked about that in Project Flip, I think week 6, I believe.
Yeah, I did do that. I did do a little bit, but I hadn't had luck. I found one that was a flip in the Bothell that I reached out to. Just didn't hear back from them. So I just didn't have luck with it. But I could keep trying.
My other thing, and this is, I like to walk the neighborhood and see who's working on houses. Right now I'm strollering around a neighborhood a lot. And yesterday I picked up an HVAC guy and an electrician at a flip house. And I forgot, like, when I got started, that's definitely, like, I was doing Airbnbs, but that's how I found my cleaners and my handyman. And so since I have a little bit of a different free time with kids, I've been strollering, and I got an HVAC guy that was at a flip house, and he's beating my current HVAC guy. So a win's a win if you have the time to drive Bothell during a lunch break or something and see what project kind of looks like a flip, and the vans that don't have all the sexy signage and marketing. Those are your guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good tip.
I mean,
So,
if it's a cosmetic flip, then maybe you could sub some of it out in order to, you know, make it hit your budget. You know, just hire the GC for like that's what James was telling me at one point for the like more complicated stuff. But if it's cosmetic, then, you know, just really shop around with the subs.
Mm-hmm.
have you reached out to Amaya's Flooring?
No.
Depending on what's expensive on your bids, HD has relationships with Amaya's Flooring and on install. So maybe there's some of those things like Lynn's saying that you could take out.
You said Amaya's Flooring? Okay.
And let them know that you're an HD client and see what pricing you can get depending on what the estimate was from the initial bid you've gotten back.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
what's your scope of work out there when you say cosmetic?
so interior and exterior paint, new floors. The two bathrooms upstairs are funky, and so we are going to change the layout to make the master bath larger and the guest bath smaller. And then downstairs there's plumbing for a bathroom, but no bathroom. So add a bathroom downstairs and then close off the big den in the downstairs to have a 4th bedroom. And then some deck and fence work.
Yeah. So then I would say break it out with the GC for the bathrooms and then break out the paint and the flooring and then the outside deck work and see if you can save your, you know, your cash there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You'll make it work. It's your first one. And even if you break even, you know, it's the college of house flipping.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, you got to stack the deck in your favor.
Yeah. Good.
Alex, how's yours going?
Oh, sorry. Hello?
How's yours going?
It's kind of scary, but we have the roof going up today, so you see something. I'm in Home Depot right now.
I love that.
We have some plumbing, but it looks crazy inside. Like all the floor joists have to get replaced. The concrete was messed up, so there's like dirt. That's what you see is dirt, but you see some plumbing going on.
You're moving.
We were behind because I feel like we wasted a month trying to figure out the floor plan and who was going to take the job. GCs were coming back over budget. So we decided to sub this one out. So now we're moving now that we know who's doing the work. But this just started this week.
You hold that final payment though till they punch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so roof started today and I think plumbing will be done this week and then they're going to start working on the floor joists this week at the same time. So we'll see.
It's exciting.
So it's scary inside though.
Hey, Alex, question. Tell me the timeline from when you decided to move forward to like subbing things out, like how long
Yeah.
did you wait to get to that decision? Like how much time passed? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we wasted a month. So this one had a post occupancy agreement. We were supposed to get the keys officially March 28th, but we closed on February 27th. We got the keys earlier, but I swear we wasted a month messing around with the floor plan, getting a bunch of bids. Literally on Saturday, we decided who to go with. So it took us a month, which
Yeah.
I wasn't proud of, but it was just really tough we're reconfiguring everything. It's a full gut and going over the bids, and it was tough. This is my first
Yeah.
flip too.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a month is actually that bad.
No? Okay, because
No,
I feel like
because
I was like, oh my
what's
gosh,
your
it took a month.
what's your monthly holding cost?
I put 7 months. Monthly holding costs right now. I don't know in total off the top of my head. I just know the hard money payments. The last two were close to 3,000, and then with everything else, I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I'll just argue that taking that time to get the right people in places for $3,000 in holding costs is a lot cheaper than someone overbidding your project by 5 or 10K or something like that. So if you feel more confident now that you've had the time to vet them, like say hello to my new flip. I'm holding it for 30 days before we start this project because I know who I want to use and they're at max, but I'll have 2 of my projects finished in 30 days and then put him on this instead of putting the wrong person on my job. So I was just wrestling with this yesterday of should I even take this down? And then secondly, well, I know he's at capacity, but I want to use him for this job. And so in thinking it through, I'm like, a holding cost of $7,000 a month, though that's not free, to use the right person and still get the right product is a sunken cost I'm willing to do.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel better. So thanks for that. But now these guys, they're moving fast. So I feel like we're gonna be able to catch up. Um, like we have the separate like HVAC, roofer, and electrician doing things, but he said he can get things done in 6 weeks. I'm not gonna hold him to that, but that would be I feel like they're moving quickly, so I think we'll be able to catch up. So we'll see.
Do you have a buying season that like has a sharp drop off? Like here in Seattle, we see things quiet down after July 4th weekend.
I don't know because I'm still learning this market. All I know is that the summer for like just like people wise in general is really slow here. Like people are traveling to like Europe and stuff. So I have to confirm with my agent. So yeah, kind of worried about that. But I did pack in like some time for it to sell when I looked at, I guess, like the average in the area. But I have to talk to the agent more about that.
I only ask because something I'm thinking about in the way, like I could list this and slam through it and be done in October, or I can add an entire new floor, which is going to take another 45 days and do a more strategic plan. But that would put me in January. And based on Seattle's market, January has been the hottest month for the last 4 years for some crazy reason. And that's when you get like more of the bidding wars. So I'm wrestling with the same question. Do I list when it's ready to list, or do I go with a more complicated, involved plan that'll put me out longer in holding, but will give me better timing in the market, or a perceived better time in the market, I should say.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm gonna ask about that because I was just like rushing to get it listed, but you're right.
Like if you're rushing to get it listed and it's going to come on when the market
Sucks.
slow.
Yeah.
And I only say this after getting rocked. Do you remember my Draper house? Like it was so dialed, and then I went in the week before Thanksgiving, and it was crickets. And December was crickets. Unfortunately, it went, but like had I waited until January 5th, it was a completely different market. If wishes were fishes,
Yeah, that's a good point.
but it's definitely something I'm overanalyzing now as we're putting this together and we're already in May.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up because so much to think about, but I'm gonna ask about that.
You officially have 97 jobs.
That's what it feels like. And I have a full-time job. My computer like died in the car, and I created a little desk outside of the house so I can go back and forth. I don't know how I'm still employed.
Dude, you know who we all need to interview is Raleigh.
I don't
He
know how.
somehow has like 7 flips going in a full-time role that it doesn't sound like it's very easy either. So
Yeah, he's impressive for sure.
Yeah, we
Raleigh
met
is a
with
beast.
Raleigh. Whoop. Go ahead. Oh, I'm
Raleigh
new.
is a beast. I'll just say that I've seen him at job sites. He has this mobile hotspot with him everywhere, and he has one of those desk thingies that clips onto your steering wheel. That's how he works.
oh, that is
Yeah.
so smart because okay, that is what I need to do. I have a nanny come to my house, and so I feel like I can't go back in my house, and then I'm just like sitting outside trying to roll calls in my lap. That's brilliant.
Yeah, he does that. Like, and he now that Microsoft is, I think, forcing him to come into the office, he's a lot more pissed. But he would work outside all the job sites. He would take his meetings at the job sites, and then just drive from one side to the other.
He's such an
But-
animal. You both are such an animal, Varun. I'm stoked for your new project.
I am not doing as much as Raleigh's. Trust me. Like Raleigh's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, and yeah, he works what I think 10, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. He's a beast. I don't know how he does it.
We had a chance to meet with him, and I think he is probably leaving Microsoft to do this full time. And didn't he just get into another flip? Didn't he just buy another flip as well?
Yeah. Raleigh and I bought a flip, which is going to
Oh,
be
is
like
it
a
you,
12-month
Baru?
project.
Okay, yeah, he's amazing. We got a chance to meet with him, and we're new. My husband and I just started on April 1, and someone suggested we meet with Raleigh, so we got a chance to see his 2 flips and adus in the back, and we were just floored with his technical understanding of house flips as well as managing, and just highly organized. We're just amazed by him, inspired by him.
Yeah, and what I would say is it's not only his technicality or the ability to know how it's put together. It's working with the city. Raleigh somehow gets permits in 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Like one of our flips, Raleigh and I are finishing up a flip in Seattle right now, hitting the market hopefully next week. We added 200 square foot extra space by dormering the roof, and we got permits in 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. In Seattle.
In Seattle. That's a big addition.
But Varun, was that already conditioned space?
No, this was like we ripped off the roof.
Okay, I'm gonna take you out for a very nice coffee. You name the time and place because we're about to be doing that.
You're talking to the wrong person. Talk to Raleigh. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from him, but if you can get it from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
But I will take you up on the coffee. Whatever I can help with, I'll help. But Raleigh is a different level.
And you're digging out the basement. Sorry, my phone said it overheated and it's only 75 degrees in Seattle, or 52 degrees. I'm very confused.
We are digging out the basement in the West Seattle flip that we just took down. Yes, digging out the basement and adding a floor on top.
Okay. I want to know more about the footings that you have to pour and what that requirement is and the engineering you're doing.
No
Yeah,
idea.
so Raleigh has an amazing engineer, and he did kind of walk through what he did to get it approved and quickly and all of that, but a lot of it just went over my head. I'm like, my husband understood, but I was like, I don't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I talked to Raleigh last week and I felt the same way. I was like, I should be taking notes. And I did take notes, and then I put it into ChatGPT. Talk to me like I'm a 5th grader trying to understand foundation engineering. One quick hack about ChatGPT though, I put in my zoning and had it look up this property I'm buying to help me with like initial feasibility and like our coverage ratio. And it put together a comprehensive enough plan that in 12 hours I was able to send it to my architect and my engineer. and they had enough information based on the new laws rolling out in June to kind of give me my next steps and if the project would work.
Wow.
Nice. Where is your new flip, Amanda?
It is 6007 Palatine in where am I? Finney.
Greenwood? Greenwood, yeah. That's my old neighborhood.
Finney Ridge.
Finney Ridge.
Nice.
So
Mhm.
I was just here with the contractor walking it because we're doing 3 prices. We might add a floor, create an ADU, and then do a normal flip. So kind of 3 different versions based on the new House Bill 1101 that gets passed in June or gets implemented.
Nice.
We'll see. And then the other 2 flips are in drywall.
You're killing it, Amanda. What is flip number 9, 10? What are you on? Are you on double digits now?
No. This would be 7. And what my first year of ProjectRE ends, I think, like June 1st.
Wow. So 1 every 2 months.
Yeah. That baby slowed me
Wow.
down double digits. Yeah, I think it's 7. I don't know.
Oh, I guess my expectation,
awesome.
we haven't met with James yet. We're kind of building our buy box, but I told my husband, I said, I think I'm comfortable asking if we can do 2, maybe 3 a year. Maybe
That was my that was my
Oh.
After the first couple of being able to implement James's system, I felt a lot more confident because initially when I was buying out of state and working with other contractors and didn't have like the recipe, if you will, I would get blindsided by a $30,000 or $40,000 bill. And then now it's like so many things are upfront and there's so many more expectations communicated about change orders or costs or delivery of a product or the timeline or the repercussions if my GC doesn't perform. I just feel like I have a lot more firm guidelines in how this should work instead of kind of trying to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So 1 to 2 is way more realistic. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of fear given kind of this economic cycle we're in.
Mm-hmm.
2 products on market and buying this one. It was a lot of big, lengthy talks with my husband if he's okay to live down in a cardboard box by the river if it all goes wrong.
With the baby.
With 2 babies.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Travis, I'm in Bothell. If you need any help or if we have an opportunity to kind of walk with you. My husband is a commercial interior designer of 30 some years. He's currently working at Home Depot as a kitchen designer. So if there's anything that he could do to help, but part of the reason why we got into this community was we did flip a house in 2020 and we sold it in March of 2020, right before the COVID announcement. And that was up in Stanwood and we made a little bit of money, but I wanted to jump back in and my sister and my mom got scared and just, they said no. And so it took us that many years to come back to doing this. But I think in the past, we did flip a house by doing all the work by ourselves. We made a lot of mistakes and physically I started getting carpal tunnel because I couldn't paint the interior of a house, 3 times and not feel the effects of it. But with this community, I've known about James. I've been part of WARI for a dozen years and just, did make good decisions in joining a community that has the experience, has the processes, and just trying to do it on our own. We failed and lost money. And so we're very excited to be part of this. And I went through all the modules and I need to go back. I just kind of did a 30,000 view just to understand the whole thing. And now I'm going back and kind of dissecting it. But we're pretty excited. And my husband is 75 and wants to get out of his job and he's still working because we did lose money on flips and some other business thing. So, but with James's experience and him being local, we're very confident that he'll handhold us and walk us through, and the community's there to help us. So we're pretty excited and kind of scared too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate this community.
Christian, have you reached out to anybody at Heaton Danner?
We just met with Raleigh and Tyler. We walked Tyler and two of his projects this weekend. So just building up our confidence and just seeing what's out there.
Okay, so that's ProjectRE. Heaton Danner's brokerage is a full service white glove brokerage. So I would reach out to somebody or talk to Tyler. He's now an acquisition broker for James, about what your buy box is. Just not that you're buying right now, but you can start looking at deals and vetting them. Heaton Danner, Lynn, is like something you and I could never even imagine before. They literally have a construction manager. They have the acquisition broker who puts the scope of work together for you and the budget. And then they pass you off once you've done the transaction to a construction manager and a listing broker. So they walk the job site, they walk the plan, they tell you what tier level finishes this property needs to have to hit the ARV. It's like a VIP investor experience. And after DIYing it halfway across the country for so long, I wish more investors understood how lucky they are to get to use Heaton Danner and like the luxury of having that, you know, local to us. Because Lynn, I'm sure you can attest to this, when you're piecing everything together and you're comping everything and you're trying to run the job sites, like with their construction manager, you're still running your job and in charge of it and its success, and you're the key investor. But having somebody look at an invoice for electrical or a bid and gut check it and say, no, we pay this, is just worlds apart. So
yeah, I'm actually a licensed real estate agent. I do more business brokering and commercial brokering, and I'm not that active. I just kind of do it for my family. But Tyler mentioned all of that, and I was so shocked. And I said, oh my gosh, it's like they're walking you through the whole thing, and they're accountable and they own it. And I told my husband, I said, even though I'm an agent, I would never take business away from HT. They understand it all. And why would I mess it up by getting in there? And,
yeah, a lot of the investors are brokers too, but I think there is some contractual things where if you buy through HD, you sign an agreement that they will also list it. So
yeah, I'm so happy with that. They know how to stage it. They know everything. Like, oh, you know what? I have no problems with that whatsoever.
Amanda?
Pardon?
Is that how you started, and then you like went out on your own?
I'm still under I love the design aspect and the construction piece of it, but if I get in a pickle, I will still call and be like, what's happening here? You know, like, is it fair of me to expect XYZ? So to be perfectly transparent, I stalked James to be able to, like, ProjectRE hadn't started yet when I kicked this off. I was just 15 months, I had a 15-month-year-old, I don't know how you say that. And I was going crazy. I thought I built my portfolio to be a stay-at-home mom. And I was like, this is the worst job I've ever had. And so I wanted to like get back into real estate, but I couldn't, I had only known how to flip out of state, or excuse me, buy and hold out of state. And I didn't know how to do it here. And that's how I got to James. I kept messaging him on Instagram, and that's kind of how we are today. And then he kicked off ProjectRE. So
that's great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I never thought I could flip because, you know, you see the best in the game doing it and you're like, surely there's not room for me. And getting to talk with him and work with him, you're like, oh, he's like all boats rise together. There's so many deals to be had. And it now has given me the confidence after doing a few deals. And then getting red tagged and having challenges to be like, okay, everything is figure outable. We can do this.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you still get deals through them then, or are you?
I use them as my app. So like this particular deal here was on the MLS, and it had been sitting for 28 days, and I this is my neighborhood as well. So I specifically target deals in my neighborhood because I like to be able to stroller to my flips.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, that would be wonderful.
yeah. And so, this deal, I know they were already working it, but I was like, I want to buy this deal. And they negotiated all the terms and what we could afford and all of that. And now we're fine tuning the scope of work and the budget to hit the numbers to get that cash on cash return I target.
Right.
And then I just drew up the floor plan. And I thought I had one handy, and we just rewalked it to see where we need beams and what was load bearing to continue to fine tune that budget.
Cool. That's nice to know the insight. You know, before I forget to ask, the past couple weeks, the construction series, like
Yep.
the first one, I haven't been able to see it, and I'm not sure if there's, yeah.
We're aware of that, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
why.
Okay.
James didn't save it to the cloud. He saved it
Oh.
to his desktop. And
Oh.
he has been in Arizona. So
Okay.
until we can grab his computer from him and download it, it's James is good at so many things that he's not great at tech. Like he just
No, I
can't
saw
be
that.
good at tech. And trying to explain to him that it's saved on your desktop, and he's like, no, we save it to the cloud. And I'm like, yes, we normally save it to the cloud. You clicked the wrong button, so it didn't automatically save to the cloud. So I have to get it off of
Right.
his laptop when he's up here next week.
Okay, cool. As long as it's not lost somewhere, I'm good. I just know
No,
it's coming.
we'll have it, or he would have to re-record it. That's on him, and you know he would re-record it because I don't think that guy ever sleeps. But
No.
we are aware of that challenge. So it's
Okay, cool.
It's the 431 call or the 331 call and 323 call. I forget.
Okay. I'm just
My
speaking because I
apologies.
figure other people want to see it too.
No, that's what these calls are for. If you can't find something and something looks different, like I know for some people, the project flip calculator that he shows in the module is different than what's uploaded because he fine-tuned that calculator to make it more streamlined and straightforward, and that's what's uploaded. So I know there's been questions about that. I've sent him a version of the old calculator to take a look at to see if we can go ahead and post it. So as soon as he signs off on that, because I think for me, I'm a visual learner, so it's nice to see when he's doing it in the modules to do it on the exact same thing to make sure it's apples to apples.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. No,
Yeah.
I figured out the tech piece. I just thought I'd ask.
That's exactly what happened. So I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm old, so I don't have it all together either, but I recognize a fellow person that way.
No, it's no problem at all. Alicia, where are you based?
I was going to ask you guys where you are. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, amazing.
Cool.
But
Seattle, we have SoCal, and I believe Bellevue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm one of the few. I think there's a realtor that they talk about, Micah, that I have not reached out to yet, that is also out here. But I think that's about it as far as I can tell.
Micah is great. Micah is trying to build her business to emulate what HD provides to their investor clients.
Oh, interesting. Definitely.
Yeah. So I think she last and again, I apologize. I'm coming back from maternity leave. So I'm just now like, I don't know what's happened the last 3 or 4 months. So you may have already connected all these dots, but she was building a platform where you could see kind of the pro forma like Heat and Daner does. So you could see the cash on cash return, what you would have to invest, how much you have to put down, and level setting those expectations in a whole like dashboard experience. That was really cool.
Okay. She's on my to-do list. I've just been busy and have not done it. So I have a flip that I am in the middle of right now. And then hoping to get it on the market maybe in 10 days. We'll see. I have some cabinets that might have a 14-day, but I'm trying to get those in sooner rather than later. So, and that would be my second flip that I've done. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Where's the flip?
If you know of Georgia, it's in Marietta, so just north of Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in like honestly, my husband and I love it so much. Like sorry, I'm losing battery. Like we would love to live in the house. It's just not our school district, so there's no way we would move. So
cool.
yeah. Yeah, it's got a, I think the yard and the neighborhood sell it, and then the house is adorable, and we've added a bathroom and a bedroom. And I don't know if anyone was on the call a couple weeks ago, but it was the brown house that I put up, and I was asking for paint tips. So we're going to be painting.
Oh, what did we
Yeah.
pick?
Which one?
Well, I ended up going with nothing anybody's ever given me. So I ended up going with like a divine white because the shoji that he recommended flared a little green. And then we're not going to do the black trim because I feel like the house just not going to work. And the one across is a black and white. And I think it's going to look weird. So we're doing kind of a softer brown gray highlight. So we'll see. I think in Georgia, you can get away with being slightly less trendy, but it definitely won't look like some of the 90s brown brick houses that are around. So anyways, I'm super excited. Like you, I like to do the pretty stuff, and I love to like optimize the space and things like that. But I have a really good contractor that I've been working with I've been a buy and hold for a long time. So just doing flips because I'm trying to replace income because can't retire with the buy and holds that I have. And I realize that's going to be a long journey. And so I need income as well as like longer term retirement planning. So that's what I'm doing.
Are you planning on paying down your portfolio to satisfy the cash flow in early retirement?
Some of them I bought in 2020 and they're just obscene. The cash flow is obscene. But the ones that I bought more in like 2023, probably the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a commercial loan. I'm actually looking as rates are kind of coming down. I'm going to pull them out of just normal loans and put them into a commercial loan is what I'm thinking. So I can put them all together and then have.
What's the term rate for that?
I've just started to give some calls and research that. I feel like it's going to be relatively similar to what they give me as an investor, which right now I'm getting investor loans from like banks at like low sevens. And so I'm like, well, for me to refinance them, I'm like, I can't imagine a commercial loan is going to be any worse because they have good cash flow. And I feel like
Are they 30-year terms or is this 5-year terms?
They've been 30-year terms. Yeah, those are just like traditional mortgages. Is that bad or good? Because I don't know. Here we go.
No, sorry, I gotta fix my face. I'm also similarly, I'm only flipping to pay down. James hates when I say this, but yeah. I'm flipping to pay off my portfolio because I want to retire with my husband in 4 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm struggling with how to snowball that. What's the highest and best use for my capital, even though I could continue to flip it and get a higher return, like the peace of mind with 2 small children to like own some of our time, because right now it's just a joke. You're like, let's high five while somebody cooks dinner, somebody hits laundry, and then it's bedtime.
Yeah.
So in you saying that, I'm wondering if you had a better strategy, because I have a portfolio in Tucson, Arizona that I bought in like 2020 where you're like, these are great, but I've been using to keep acquiring.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see some of that cash flow I've heard about.
Yeah. So my 2020s have all like 4% interest rates and I'll probably never pay them. And so the ones I bought in 2023, because I HELOC'd out of something and no, not HELOC'd. What's it called? 1031 out of some stuff. And I just had to buy because like my 90 days was up and I have like 8% interest on a lot of those. And so I know that they're barely cash flowing. And so my thought is
would reach out to certain lending. I just locked a 6.5.
Oh, that's great.
Last week. What
was the name of it?
Certain Lending, Tim Fazio or Israel Lopez. I just locked a 6.5 because I had an 8.1 on a triplex.
Oh, that's great. Is it Certain, like CERTA? Oh, I don't know them. Yeah. Okay.
And they'll do like a DSCR product for you.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm just starting to like do some research and see what I can find to refinance.
And I just spoke with him because I have one more Airbnb product that I'm wrapping, and I was like, "Can I lock again?" He's like, "Our rates are probably like this for 10 to 14 days, but they're going to bump back up after what the money market did." So
I don't know.
Bond market.
And then the reason I probably am not going to pay them down is I'm trying to use the cash to do a few more flips. And then in my mind, I can see myself wanting to do like 4 to 5 a year is kind of like my goal. But then again, one bad flip and it could all go to,
Don't even say that. We're not saying that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly. So, so just make sure I have some cushion. But right now I also have a W-2 and, I have to run all the analysis because all the insurance is on my W-2. So we'd have to figure out the insurance is the biggest, I think.
That's
hole.
my husband. He's like, he has a science job and I forget about all of those amazing benefits because I just had a C-section and you're like, oh, we only pay $1,500.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
That's a huge piece of that.
Yeah.
But I'm goal setting for 4 years.
Okay. I like that. I gave myself like 5 years and we're coming up on 4.5. So I feel like
Alicia, let's go. Let's accountability buddies. I haven't worked out or been eating healthy, but I'm going to hit my retirement date. Damn it.
Oh, there you go. I like that. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'm excited about my flip. And I think the market's been slightly improving because for us that we're tied to the school year. So this is the time to try to get things on the market. So when I was looking, I was hoping to get an 850. Now there's been things that could get me closer to 950. So I don't know, like we'll see if it can really hit that hard, but it's been renovated. That's hit the market has gone for top dollar. So
well, I hope you post it in the group. I keep meaning to post mine and what I've failed at in the recap.
I have a whole goal in life to put some stuff on social media thinking that will help me get more deals, but who has the time or the interest? So that's been my problem is.
You know what? I can feel that. I post in my stories all the time, but I can't actually commit to posting something.
Yeah.
So I just do story highlights on everything. And I have actually, funny enough, that has worked because my husband went to a concert and somebody came up and was like, oh, I saw Amanda's stories. My grandparents are selling their house. And he's at like a concert. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's working because he always makes fun of me. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. Well, I find I would much prefer to live a very private life, but I do think in real estate, you have to have some level of like being social.
I also feel like it's super isolating what we do. And like, if you talk to certain people about it, and this is maybe just my own mindset, you almost feel like you're bragging, like, oh, I bought another house today. And it's like, it's not like that. Like, it is my job, but I think so many people are like, well, you have 3 or you have 5. You're like, no, it's what I do for work. So you kind of stay smaller, and then it gives you at least one outlet where you can talk about what you're doing and design. And that's why I personally love ProjectRE too, because it's not like you're showing off. It's like, no, this is what I do for work.
Yeah.
And I also love it.
And I love it. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking we could do these Tuesdays, like every other Tuesday. I don't know if we want more. We were doing them pretty consistently before the latest fix and flip of a baby, but the au pair is arriving soon, so we'll be back to more regular. And Shannon has been wonderful in helping with all things with the community calls. So hopefully we can get back to doing these twice a month, and maybe we can talk more about what everyone's financial freedom goals are, because that's the stuff I actually nerd out about.
That's great.
The flips and the design are great, but I think we're all working for the same thing, and that's a Mai Tai on a beach.
Totally.
with a full-time au pair.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll give you guys back your 15 minutes unless you guys want to talk amongst each other or have any questions. But I'm so stoked to have met you guys, and I'm sorry that I have fallen off the last few months. So I'm eager to get back.
Well, I didn't even know you were out there. So
here I am. Yeah. Well, James can't shake me. He keeps trying to be like, why does he keep showing up at my office? So. And then for those of you who are in Seattle, we're having a walkthrough at one of his newest properties coming up. So I'll see if we can set up like a virtual thing, and it'll be just a James monologue for about 2 hours. So grab your popcorn.
That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nothing I wouldn't say straight to his face, I promise.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful afternoon.
Great.
Nice
Nice
meeting you.
meeting you all.
Yeah,
Believe.
nice meeting you all. Talk
Bye.
again. All right, bye.